The Presidential Citizens Medal is one of the nation's highest civilian honors, awarded to those who have performed exemplary deeds of service. Now, on Thursday, President Biden honored 20 Americans with the medal, including 2 members of the House January 6th committee, Liz Cheney and Benny Thompson.
Thompson for his lifelong dedication to safeguarding our Constitution.
And Democratic Congressman Benny Thompson, the awardee himself of Mississippi, joins us here at the table. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congressman, first of all, thank you for being here and congratulations on this award. I am just wondering, what did it feel like knowing all of the work that you did for the January 6th committee, a committee that you led in, frankly, very tumultuous times through tumultuous waters, that we only know as much about what happened on January 6th because of the committee? And I would argue that the Department of Justice only acted because of the work that your committee turned up.
Well, first of all, I'm humbled by the award. I'm humbled the fact that somebody whose father wasn't allowed to vote in Mississippi because he was black to now chair that committee. But also the facts that we brought out, as you indicated, in our work over 18 months was just that, the facts. We've invited people who disagree to come forth. But you can't come forth in a tweet. You got to come forth in the facts. And the president made the decision. None of us sought the acknowledgement or recognition. And so for that, I think, as I said, I'm humble. But, you know, there's still work to be done. I'm bothered by the fact that here we are one day away from another January 6th, and we'll be involved a different way. But 4 years later, the people are trying to say that what people saw with their own eyes didn't really happen. So we move forward. We stand by the work of the committee. We had a tremendous team. Liz Cheney was my vice chair, and we did what a lot of us say is the Lord's work. We went all over the world looking for evidence to see what connections that might have been. And it came down to the fact that what happened on that January 6th was brought about because of then President Donald Trump. And people lost their lives. Over 140 law enforcement officers were hurt. So, you know, it was not a good day, not a good moment for the greatest country in the world.
It was not Congressman, and yet you have Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago inviting and celebrating John Eastman, Michael Flynn, Jeffrey Clark, Rudy Giuliani, Pete Navarro just last night. What does it tell you that he is celebrating these folks as he is preparing to take an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States?
Well, obviously, he's trying to rewrite history. The facts speak for themselves. I'm convinced that as we went about our work, we involved and invited anyone with information to come forward. The president could have come, former president at that time could have come forward. We tried to get Vice President Pence and others to come. And at every hearing we conducted, we invited people with opposing views to come forward, but they had to come forth under oath. You know, you just can't come out here and tell a lie. And you know, there's accountability. Everyone that presented to our committee in those hearings did it under oath for fear of perjury. And so we stand by the work of the committee. Obviously, the Department of Justice, who finally decided to move forward, brought a number of indictments, and people are in jail. And now this president-elect wants to call them patriots. And that's so unfortunate.
Well, they're not patriots. They're insurrectionists, and many of them have been convicted for their insurrection. And the fact that the president celebrates them is an embarrassment to the country. And the fact that he's about to be inaugurated, and to Alicia's point, say the words that he swears to protect, uphold, protect, defend the Constitution, we know he's lying. So we just know it. I'm going to sit here and pretend that those words mean something to him. And to that point, Congressman, you had a great little conversation with my colleague and dear friend here, Symone Sanders, back in 2022 on two things that I thought were very interesting. One was talking about the difficulty of being away from your home and now being the subject to investigations or threats of investigations for the work you did. But I want to particularly call up what you said about managing democracy, because, folks, that's what we are all called to do as citizens. And we elect men like Benny Thompson and Liz Cheney, women like Liz Cheney, to help us do that. So let's take a quick listen to what you said about managing democracy.
That's the greatness of this democracy, and we should never marginalize that. So, but we have to manage it. As I said, if we don't manage it, we stand potential to lose it because the platforms that are out here now, social media and otherwise, amplifies in some instances things that are patently untrue. And you know, in the South, they tell you that if you tell a lie long enough, at some point, it becomes the truth. It becomes the truth.
And that's the MO of Donald Trump. I'm going to lie to you long enough because at a certain point you're going to believe me. How do you and this Congress, the Democrats in this Congress, manage both democracy and truth in the face of what we saw happening last night and what we will see over the next ensuing months?
Well, you know, we'll have to double our vigilance. We'll have to make sure that we hold this administration, incoming administration, to the letter of the law. We are, as Americans and this democracy, a nation of laws. And we can't let those laws be relegated to one individual's feelings about whether or not they like the law or not. If you don't like the law, let's change it. You can't change it with a word. And we got to be number one in the world because we had our laws in writing. We had separation of power. I'll tell you what I'm really concerned about is if the president can make calls to the House of Representatives and pick the speaker, that means that whole separation of power that our founding fathers put together is kind of morphed. And, you know, we kind of stand on that three-legged stool. And now everything is kneeling at the feet of incoming president, and that's not good for a democracy. You know, we'll debate the issues, but we debate them as Democrats and Republicans, and the president gets his turn to take a position, and he has a veto pen. Now, all of a sudden, he injects himself and actually intimidate members of Congress to change their vote. Look, President Clinton tried to get me to vote for NAFTA, and I told him I wasn't going to do it. And people say, you told the President of the United States that you wasn't going to vote for something? Yeah.
Because you don't work for the president.
Because you work for the president.
I work for the people of 2nd District.
He doesn't have a vote in the House?
Come on now.